to collect rent. Yeah. And one of the mistakes people make when it comes to property investment is that they always look at it in the investment from an angle of, I want to buy a place, I must live in. So if they see a place and it is not favorable for them, they're not able to live there, then they don't buy. And that is one of the biggest mistakes I've seen people making when it comes to real estate investment, that they judge a place by, by the eyes of living there. There are areas I've invested myself. I'm not living there, but I've invested in those areas. Yeah. So some of you are failing to invest, and this is one of the biggest real estate mistakes that people make. They don't invest in an area because they're seeing that area in terms of, I can't live there, and they end up missing a lot of investment opportunities. So guys, I want to free you from that, that trap that has wasted a lot of opportunities for so many people. Yeah. You don't need to buy a place because you have to live there. Yeah. You don't need to fail to invest in a place because you can't live there. Yeah. You don't always need to buy where you can live all the time. As a matter of fact, your dream house, you are not able to afford it for now. Your dream place, you're not able to afford it for now. The places that you're dreaming to live in, they're very expensive. You can't afford them. But you can start investing in some areas that are upcoming. Then once the properties appreciate, you sell, and then now go and buy the places that you want to live in. So the best thing to do is to start with an investment mindset. The best thing to do is to always start with an investment mindset. Buy for investment purposes first. Buy for the purpose of selling later. So this is one of the biggest mistakes that keeps many Kenyans, especially our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, from building real wealth. It's the idea that when you buy property, you must only buy in a place where you yourself, you must live. Yeah. My friend, if you hold on to that, you will watch the train of opportunity leave the station without you. Let me be very practical and direct. You live in Roysambu and you only want to buy a plot in Roysambu because you can see it. Your cousin lives in Kinoo, so you only search for land in Kinoo. You're in the diaspora dreaming of retiring in Lavington, so you think that your first and only investment must be in Lavington. No, this is emotional thinking, not investment thinking. You don't always need to buy where you can live. In fact, most of the time, the best thing to do is to buy for investment purposes first. Let me break it down for you. The place you want to live in, like a mature leafy suburb, is often expensive and slow growing. Yeah, you are paying a premium for the convenience and the status. The growth has already happened. What you'll be paying is status and convenience. But the place you buy for investment, that is a place that is cheap and fast growing. You are paying for future potential. So think of it like this. You want to live in a mature fruit-bearing mango tree in Karen. It gives you a shade and a fruit today, but it's very expensive to buy and it won't grow much bigger. On the other hand, you invest in a seedling in a place like, Southern Bypass or within the Nairobi metropolitan areas like Joska, Kangundo Road, Kitengela, Ngong areas, Kikuyu, Juja. It costs little, but it needs patience. But in 5 years, that seedling becomes a tree that has multiplied in value. So your goal with your first property is not to find a place to build your house tomorrow. Your goal is to find a place that will make you the money to eventually build that house wherever you want. Because I have a lot of my clients who bought properties 5, 6, 7 years ago, but today they have not been able to build houses there. Maybe some of them, they are not able to afford the money for the house. But of course, they have the land, which is a good step. Yeah. And I normally advise them, buy more properties. Maybe one property amongst the ones that you had bought will have appreciated to 10 million or even 5 million. Then you sell it and use that money now to build your house Yeah, you know, you buy a 50 by 100 plot in a developing area, let's say 500,000. Right now we have a property in a Sunset Estate, they're going for 799,000. But if you pay within 1 week, you get it for 750,000. You hold it for 3-4 years. When the tarmac road hits, when the sewer line hits, you know, when the hotel hits, when the market opens, that plot becomes worth 1.5 million. Then you can sell it. Now with that 1.5 million, you have a bigger down payment for even a plot in the more mature area you originally wanted, but you are not able to afford. You know, or you use the profit to buy 2 more plots in other upcoming area. You have started your journey to real estate investment. So this is how smart investors do it. They are not emotional about investment. They are strategic about the profit. They buy for the purposes of selling later, to fuel the dream of living where they want later. So don't let your dream location today blind you to the investment that will finance it tomorrow. Start with strategic investment, not emotional purchase. Your future self will thank you for the wisdom that you pursued. Yeah. Okay. So I made a deliberate choice. Let me give you my personal story. To do all my operations within the outskirts of Nairobi city. Yeah. I decided to leave and set up my office in the outskirts of Nairobi. And my clients actually prefer coming here because it's an area that has less traffic. We're just along Kikuyu Road, you know, on the way to Southern Bypass. But let me tell you why I really did it. It's because I understand the fundamental difference between an asset and a liability. So listen to me carefully. The house you live in is not an asset, it's a liability. And many people don't know that. Yeah, many people don't know that. Okay? They really don't. In fact, buying or renting a property primarily for the purposes of living in it is a liability. And I know a lot of you don't know this. Let me break it down with my own story. My office could have been in the Westlands or Upper Hill. But to rent a decent modern office in Westlands, it will cost me, let's say even 150,000, 200,000, maybe 250,000 a month. But to get maybe an office in the outskirts of the city, maybe it's going for 30,000, 25,000 or 20,000. You know? So I moved in the outskirts of the city. Yeah. And that's where I'm even staying. And I remember more than 7 years ago when I started, business. My first business was an educational consultancy business. I didn't even had a car. I would take matatu, going to the club. These were high-end places. Sometimes I would take an Uber. Yeah. And I was the CEO. And I remember some people even mocking me. Hey, Bwana CEO, even you are in this matatu. Oh, where is your office located? You see, people must mock you before God lifts you. People must mock you before God lifts you. But you see, that decision to save over 150,000 every month on rent wasn't a sign of poverty. It was a masterclass in financial intelligence, guys. A masterclass in financial intelligence. Yeah, masterclass in financial intelligence. So that 150,000 wasn't disappearing into another landlord's pocket. Yeah, every month I was channeling it into buying asset land in emerging corridors. That money was working for me, building my future, and not just paying for a prestigious office, prestigious house, prestigious location. That luxurious house in the high-end suburb is a liability because money flows out of your pocket for rent, for maintenance, for electricity, for